We are live.
I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Here, would you like to? No, I just you. Dee Dee, good.
All right, good morning, everyone. Call to order the September 14th meeting of Preston County Commission. Everyone, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Let the record show that all three commissioners are present: Commissioner Stone, Commissioner Price, and Commissioner Smith. And do we have anybody from the public which to be recognized not already scheduled? I do not think so. Okay. Moving down to the review of the bills real quick.
I move we review the bills and pay those that are properly presented and approved.
Second.
Commissioner Floor and a second to pay the bill. Commissioner Price.
Yes.
Commissioner Stone.
Yes.
Yes. All right, and that moves us down to our first appointment, Miss Stacy Breezer. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning, review.
Okay. Reclamation National Days Remembrance for Murder Victims.
Do you guys already have a copy of that, or do you? They have your
Yes, they do.
confirmation, and
Yes.
you also have your request for the courthouse.
Okay.
All right, good morning. So as you know, every year I ask the commission to help us honor and remember the murder victims here in Preston County by declaring September 25th, 2021 to recognize it as a National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims. This originated back in 1978. It was formed by the parents of murdered children when Robert and Charlotte Hollinger of Cincinnati formed Parents of Murdered Children following the murder of their 19-year-old daughter Lisa, who was studying in Germany. So the annual day is observed every year, and I think it's important for us here in Preston County to also remember all the murder victims we've had here in this county. With your all's permission, I would like to do a bell ringing ceremony this year. With like refreshments following in here, but if you're not comfortable with that, then we won't do that. Whatever you're comfortable with doing, I'm happy to do. So, with that, I'm not gonna read the whole proclamation unless you really want me to.
I think Dave would like to read it.
Would you like to read it?
It doesn't matter. I was going to read it.
That's
if you
okay,
didn't
go
want to.
ahead, Dawn, or Dave,
I
or.
had it in my hand. All right, proclamation, Preston County Commission, whereas in 2007, the U.S. Congress declared September 25th of every year to be designated as the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims, and whereas the nation has set this date aside to honor the memories of murder victims and recognize the impact of homicide on surviving family members and loved ones, and whereas the devastating impact of murder in America has far-reaching effects on individuals, families, communities, and our nation as a whole, and whereas the families of murder victims face immediate short-term and lasting consequences that have a profound effect on them emotionally, financially, physically, socially, and spiritually, and whereas the Office of the Preston County Prosecuting Attorney and Preston County Victim Advocate ask that public support and assistance continue throughout the year as these offices join with RDVIC, other Preston County officials and supporters send a message to survivors of murder victims that we will remember their tragedy, honor their courage, and vow to do whatever we can to help them rebuild their lives. Now, therefore, we, Don Smith, Dave Price, submit this thing, and thereby declare that we will join the nation and recognize September 25th, 2021 as the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims, and we remember and honor all murder victims and their courageous survivors on this day in Preston County. And we commend this proclamation to all citizens and testimony thereof. We have set our hand and caused the seal of the Preston County. It's this day, 14th September, 2021. Motion to.
I make a motion to declare September 25th, 2021 as National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims.
Second.
Motion for and a second to proclaim September 25th, National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims. Commissioner Stone?
Yes.
Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Yes.
I also make a motion to approve and authorize the president to sign the application for the use of the Preston County Courthouse lawn.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion second to approve and authorize the president to sign this application. Commissioner Stone?
Yes.
Commissioner Price?
Yes. I just was looking here to see if there was anything about the use of the room, and I don't see that in there.
Yeah.
What day is that?
That's what I was gonna say, we need to
It's
schedule.
on Saturday, it's the 25th.
A Saturday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a Saturday. Saturday the 25th.
Okay, we'll have to make arrangements then for the handle. I'll work with Stacy on that. I don't know, do you have an objection to the room?
No, that's what I was looking for in the motion.
Yeah.
No, I think it's fine.
Or just do by unanimous consent that they can use the room? You have to give it a name.
Well, we don't have an application for that.
No.
I don't think we need one.
Well, this is a-
It's more of a scheduling thing.
This is an internal request.
Yeah, it's just a.
Yeah.
Just get with me.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy, real quick, what time are you planning on doing it?
2:00.
2:00?
Yeah.
There was another,
Is there something else?
well, let me check here real quick, because I had something come in my calendar, and I believe that's the, let me just look here real quick, because I would like to attend, but
There's a flag dedication.
I think it's in Douglasville.
It's in Bellasville, same day, but I don't know what time it is. They asked for one of us to come.
Yeah, they reached out.
Yeah.
Saturday.
I think it's in the morning though. Here it is.
Here's one other.
Yeah.
My phone's going fast as,
Yeah.
yeah, faster than my fingers sometimes.
Right.
That's okay.
I mean, I haven't announced it yet, so if I need to change the time, I can.
That's what I was,
But I saw where some other folks were doing another event at noon. That's why I was trying to do it at 2 so they could be involved if,
3 o'clock.
so is that gonna be enough for you guys to
if you wanted to maybe bump it to 1, then we
One.
just,
go from here to there? So 1:00
if that
better?
works for you.
That's fine.
Okay. Does it need changed, the application, or was there a specified time?
I didn't know if I put a time on there or not, did I?
You did, but I can take care of that real
Okay.
quick.
All
I
right,
have a pen.
alrighty,
Thanks.
1:00. Thank you so much.
All right, that brings us down to our next appointment with Miss Karen Carrillo, the Daughters of the American Revolution, with proclamation. Thank you.
All right, so the tradition of celebrating Constitution Week was started many years ago by the Daughters of the American Revolution. And in 1955, we petitioned Congress to dedicate September 17th through the 23rd to the annual observance of Constitution Week. And the resolution was adopted by Congress and signed into law in 1956 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. U.S. Senator Robert C. Byrd of West Virginia encouraged us to study the Constitution because it is both the foundation and the guardian of our liberties. Study it also with the knowledge that as strong and enduring as our Constitution has been, It is nevertheless a fragile, almost intangible thing that cannot survive without the dedication and constant support of our citizens. So the Preston County Cheat River chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution encourages county residents to read the Constitution and to fly their flag from the 17th through the 23rd. And we gave you some information on the Constitution so that you all can read it. And,
Good.
yeah.
It's nice.
And the Preston County chapter of Daughters of the American Revolution was just formed. We were official on September 5th of this year. So we are brand new and we hope to do a lot of things in the county.
Very
And
good.
our
This flag code's nice too.
it is, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and the Daughters of the American Revolution encourages promotion of education, historic preservation, and patriotic endeavors. So that's
We need it more than ever.
Yes.
Proclamation here to declare, have a motion to declare September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Thorne has second. Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Commissioner Stanton?
Yes.
Yes. All right, who?
I'm sorry. You want a
Yes.
picture with them?
Yes.
Karen, get it out.
You want us to stand up, Kathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you and Mr. Stone, Mr. Price can move over there, even behind.
Okay, let's do this. You guys can hold that.
Okay.
I'll go back to it.
Yeah. Okay. Samantha, can you move this way a little bit? And you can take off your mask if you want to leave it on.
Sometimes people yell later.
Cover the double chins.
That's why I always wear them.
That's right.
The blemishes.
Yeah, there you go. The chin hair. No.
Did they sign that for you?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it's,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
If you will take that up, and they'll affix their seal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just take it to Angie and then she can make your copy as well.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
We'll get that to you after they do that.
All right, that brings us down to the assessor's office, which we only have one thing. That's tax scratching list.
One, tax place, the one for separated.
Okay.
$54.42.
That's good stuff.
So we checked for a supplemental.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, the wrong name. Okay, gotcha. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the tax correction list? Motion for in a second. Commissioner Stone,
Yes,
Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. All right, brings us down to approval for August 17th minutes. Motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for August 17th, 2021.
Second.
Commissioner Thorne, second. Approve minutes. Commissioner Stone?
Yes.
Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, these. Motion to accept those.
Move we approve the PIVs through, it'll be September 2nd through the 8th.
Second.
Commissioner Thorne, second. Approve and accept the PIVs. Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Commissioner Stone?
Yes.
Yes.
We have these estates from the clerk, Bankhead, Knox, Long, and Roth. Move we approve those.
Second.
Commissioner Thorne, second. To approve the estate settlements. Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Commissioner Stone?
Yes.
Yes. Nothing from the fiduciary commissioner at this time. Under old business, we still have a position to be filled on community correction board. Appoint an at-large member to fill the vacancy. Do we have anybody to call about that, Captain?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Any requirements on the community corrections?
For the at-large member, no.
At large is any.
That's anybody. It could be anybody.
No matter political or.
No, it has no bearing on it. There's certain positions that by statute have to be under like the sheriff and stuff like that, but that one is not.
And at large is anyone.
So it could be anybody.
I do have an update on the second one,
Okay.
Commissioner, on the PCEDA board.
Uh-huh.
I did have some correspondence with the mayor. I told him what we were looking for, and hopefully I'll have a name for you next week. I was waiting on an email back, and I hadn't received it by this time this morning. So I think we'll have somebody for you to appoint next week.
All right, new business, we have Pictures of Mine Company permit number S9-81. Is there anything we particularly have to do with this, Kathy, or?
You just have to say that you've received the Phase 2 and Phase 3 release for Patriot Mining,
Then
and you have it there.
I have it.
So it just becomes part of the record, not a
Part of the
Right. Yep, so we have received the Phase 2 and Phase 3 release for that's going in the Pleasant District. Preston. Okay. All right, brings us down to the administrator's report.
Yeah, the first item I have for you is, we have been working with the West Virginia Conservation Agency, had a meeting with them. What I'm presenting for you today is an agreement that would allow the Preston County Commission and the West Virginia Conservation Agency to work together on stream restoration, bank stabilization, and blockage removal work. They've been in the county a couple of times now and have indicated some urgency on a couple of blockages. I mean, I think Dave was there. He can explain more if we need a better
Yeah,
explanation.
Justin called me and filled me in a little bit about it, because I know there's some spots where stuff has blocked up different creeks and things like that. It's caused some issues.
Yeah, of course, they had a declaration, and there's a 30-day window that you can do some activity. Waiting on a bid template from them, but the first item of business that we need to do is, if you so desire, to enter into an agreement that would allow us to develop the partnership.
I don't think there's any issue whatsoever on that. If we can mitigate some of this flooding and stuff because of it, I don't think that's a problem.
But just have to have a motion.
So I've read it and I've been out on the streams. So we need to move forward with some kind of plan.
Right.
Second.
Motion floor and a second to enter into this agreement. Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Commissioner Stone?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I will caution you about, we may have a need for a special meeting. If this gears up and I
Right.
get a bid pack and,
Right.
and we have to have.
That's fine.
Now, I will say that you may have site visits, but any voting, any agreements will have to be voted on here.
Right.
And I have informed Dwayne and Nick that that's the way the process would work. Lots of times you have to go out to a site, especially if you have contractors who want to look at the site, then we'd bring it all back here to do anything that takes a vote.
Okay.
Okay. The next item I have is an update on your maintenance projects. I do have, this is just basically a housekeeping matter. Several meetings back, we talked about the concrete and you told me to move ahead with the $14,000 agreement. We really never solidified that in any way. So I just have for you today to approve that quote. It's for $14,000 with 4C Enterprises LLC. I will tell you they begin the work. I had a meeting this morning and usually have a work meeting at least 2 or 3 times a week. We ran into we're probably going to have a change order on up there that has to do with an existing drain. It doesn't flow the best, and rather than putting it back with poor drainage, we just need to correct that. So I did meet with them today. We have a couple plans of action of how to address that. Then we also need so we don't have water infiltration, is to create a curb, and that will help us. If you've been up there recently, we're going to create. We have an anonymous donor that would like to help us up there with a cattery, which is basically an outdoor area for cats, but it needs to be sort of caged in. So there may be some change orders that go with that, but that will be covered by a donation. So if the proper time is to do it now while we're doing all the
Mhm.
concrete work.
Right.
This, you've already given me permission to move forward, but just want to have something signed so that
Mhm.
we know that it's 14. The other issue up there, we're still waiting on pipe. The supplies are really hard to find, but we're gonna move forward. We'll get that sewer in before the snow flies. On the curb down here, I did talk with Mr. Calvert about doing that. He believes that's a little bit outside his expertise level, and so I'm going to reach out to Stone Paving, who actually did that lot down there, because there's gonna be some milling that has to be done, and that's more in their wheelhouse. He doesn't have anything. He can do the concrete section, but I just think I need to reach out to someone else on that one. As far as the courthouse goes, and the reason I'm reaching out first to Stone Paving is just because they did the work. If there's any drawings, if there's anything like that, I just need to reach out to him about that. On the courthouse, preparing a application for the Courthouse Facilities Authority, Improvement Authority for the ceiling repointing. That is due on October 1. Michael Mills is helping us with that. I sent some documents back and forth yesterday. So preparing that, I need letters of support for those that are working in that building. Sent those out yesterday. I should have the application for your review and approval on the September 28th.
What's the estimate on that?
Don't have that yet. That's what we're working on,
That's
is
what
the
they're working
budget.
on. She needs to get that.
You remember, we
before can be the-
we have another section that you've already approved with county dollars. So, that one side was about 55,000 just to do that west side. I don't even want to speculate. The electrical lines are covered, so Keystone can come back at any time on that change order to do that. I call it the bump out. I don't know what else to call it,
I know.
where the stairway goes up.
Right.
That stone, we'll have to take the capstones out. We're still not certain what we're into there. So anyway, working with Michael, he's looked at it. We kept the lift. If you remember, we had a lift to do that west side. We secured the lift for an additional week. So he's going all around that building to see. Actually, on the Main Street side, you don't get weather that way. You get weather on the west and the south.
Oh, yeah, that's
You
where it
just-
generally
You
comes
just
from.
get a lot of weather there. So, the maximum amount we can go for is $100,000 with a $20,000 match. So, the best way, that's pretty good bang for your buck. So I have reached out to, the courthouse facilities. They do a peer review of your work. So I am going to submit it for a peer review just to see if I'm lacking anything, or we will apply under exterior improvements. So we still have other projects over there, but after Michael came and we talked about it, if you would see the difference where you have seal and where you have no seal, that sandstone, man, it just sucks that water right up. So that's where we are on those. We've had some, we're gonna have to start addressing the painting and those kind of things. We've had one request. As we approach winter, I have asked the maintenance staff to look at all your equipment. I know it's September, but we need to look at that equipment and make sure that that's all prepared. I am meeting this week with a couple contractors about sealing. We need to seal some lots. That just kind of got away from me. This is about the time we do it anyway, but I don't want to miss this warm weather. So trying to meet either last of this week or first of next week. So that's what I think I have. Still working on the little drive-through down there. And we do have we're gonna have to do this on the weekend. We're gonna have to take that section of that beam out to get a little bit more exposure so we know exactly what we're gonna do over there at the courthouse. Mark and I will be working on that. Are there any questions for me?
As far as that goes.
Okay, I just asked that
Dawn, that you approve that for.
When's the last time we had, there was a ceiling done?
You know what, it's of the entire structure, it's different. If you remember, we had a lightning strike several years ago. We we did that. I have not done it in my tenure.
So it's been a while.
You should do it probably every 10 years or so. As far as, once we do the repointing, the repair, to be honest with you, if what we saw holds true, we do these two. Now, you'll notice on that, I call it the south side, I hope that's right, but.
By the alley.
Yeah, by Court Street, right.
Right, that's.
When you look at that building and
Yes.
you'll see on the right-hand side, that bump out.
Yes.
On the left-hand side of that, we have some push out on the top, so, and that's the way the weather comes.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah, the weather
The rest-
comes from the west.
even on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be as, so we're really addressing the emergency needs we have. And he did a great job. Took that lift, went all the way up,
Yeah.
took some photographs. So, it's always helpful to have an architect to help with the budgeting and with the, design for that. But Commissioner Price, I can't, it's not been in my tenure that we've done a seal of the entire structure.
I mean, that protection from the weather is probably
And-
the most. Interior painting, if we can, and when we can, that's one thing.
Well, and the other thing is on your bump out, it doesn't have a cap. So, I look for a change order. Right now, what you're doing is you're moving the caps, you're revealing your problem. This isn't a, for faint of heart project. It is, anytime you're doing with, any kind of restoration, this is preservation really to keep that structure in good.
Well,
shade.
that's where our focus needs to be, roofs and sealing out.
Well, the next item is, we've already determined, Michael came up and, the Mills group came up and determined that you need a full roof replacement on the sheriff. Now, we have had a meeting to get a contractor in there to just, do that leak problem that we have on the third floor. The ridge vent on the extension office is repaired. Okay?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Moves on to discussion on request from the Tucker Community Foundation Run Forward event. I'm not sure exactly what that was for.
I'm sorry?
The Tucker County Foundation.
Oh, yes, sir. Remember last week you asked me to put that back on. That made it 3,000.
Well,
Oh, you're here. Okay,
That's why I don't remember.
I'm sorry. My grandkids are sick, so.
I got the email,
Daughters.
but I wasn't, I got the email about which organizations, so I
Yes,
assumed that
you
was
got-
part
you
of
got the email
discussion.
because
They asked in the spring, and
Yes.
we kind of had to wait and see how the money was
Right.
filtering out, and we have an awful lot of requests for things, but a lot of the money that is, it is back how many fold times to organizations?
I think your investment has been about 16, and I think that, you leverage that to 145,000. This is a $3,000 request, Dawn.
I just think that, I think that's a good thing to be a part of, because a lot of, any nonprofit, any organization in Preston County can go and take advantage of that and increase our return.
I forget how many, I'm sorry, I should have brought that email with me. I don't remember how many groups, but it was probably 10.
At least.
Yeah, it was a lot of groups that
It's
benefited from
A
that.
lot of people go and bring a lot of money back to Preston County.
The only question I had, was that part of the leaf keepers, or is that separate and apart?
That's separate
Yeah.
and
Okay,
apart.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Because the leaf keepers was canceled. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, a lot of what they would, generally speaking, they would have it at the same time as the Leaf Peeper
Okay.
Festival. Not every year, but most years, let me put it that way.
As far as I know, that's still on.
Right,
and,
yeah, that's, yeah, one.
We just need a decision because it's next week.
Well, there's
Here's the
actually,
list.
We move forward with that.
Do you want the list?
I have the list.
Okay, it's Preston County Fund Runners, Friends of Cheat, Arthur Heritage, Preston County Humane Society, Rollsburg Runners, the Aurora Project, Kingwood Elementary School, and the Preston County Parks and Recreation.
And one
And there was
more,
one
the
more.
Aurora Era
It came
Historical
second.
Society.
Oh, yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the
Yeah,
Aurora
Aurora
Area
Area
Historical
Historical
Society.
That's a good return on $3,000.
I just need to get back to him today.
Okay, my motion is to move forward.
$3,000 allocation.
Second.
All right, motion on the floor in a second to approve this request from, for $3,000 to the Run For It event. Commissioner Price?
Yes.
Commissioner Stan?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope a lot of people will take advantage of it, even more so in the coming years. This year and beyond. I mean, really, anybody who has a good cause.
All right, do we have any budget revisions that can?
I
I did not see any emailed or anything, so I'm assuming
don't
not.
have any, sir.
I did. All right. That brings us down to Commissioner's comments. Commissioner Stan, do you have anything for us today?
Oh,
I do have one thing.
Oh, you have one thing? Okay.
Yes, sir.
that's fine.
I'm sorry. Late last night, I did get a correspondence from CSX
Oh, yeah.
on the Bridge Street Bridge.
Okay.
And since we have time, I'd like to go up and get that email. It came,
Really?
it came probably 6 o'clock.
Well,
something like that.
after
So,
working hours.
well, that's okay. That's no problem. I will, with permission, I will get that email. I don't want to speak incorrectly, but it does have a correspondence concerning the Bridge Street Bridge. So
Okay.
with your permission, I'll go up and get that, and I'll make copies for it.
All right.
I did see when I was driving
Okay.
to Terra just the other day.
Did you need me? Okay.
No.
I did see, they were down in, like, I don't wanna say manholes, that's incorrect, but they were down in some grading and had some things lifted up in Terra Alta. They were cleaning out, and I knew they were getting that sucker truck that,
Yeah.
was gonna do
Yeah.
some work, but, yeah, I did see them doing that the other day. when I
That's
was
good.
in Terra Alta.
Yeah, because I went by Thursday, I didn't see any activity at that time. But okay, good deal.
Been some demolition projects begun up there of, before the ordinance even takes place. But, yeah. But,
Do you have anything else or besides that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I had, I will say, I had meetings this week that they've become virtual,
Right.
whatever that means. I mean, I know what it means, but it just,
Oh, I do have one thing.
Okay.
So last night, we were able to meet with the Golden Shovel representative. The Golden Shovel is the company that the Economic Development Authority has hired to rebrand and do a
Oh,
website for
okay.
us.
Mhm.
So we met out at Tatham's, and Trellis prepared a wonderful meal for the board out there. And we met with the gentleman and had an opportunity to speak with him about some different things around the county. He's here for 3 days, boots on the ground, looking at Preston County and getting ready to brainstorm again today on some things for the website. So that is exciting, very exciting. It was a great meeting.
Anything else?
I do know one thing that I would like to bring up. So we haven't really had any sort of verbiage on our county doors, and of course, we are not enforcing masks to enter our county buildings, but I think it's very important. I personally follow CDC when I cannot socially distance. So with that being said, I would like to put some sort of verbiage up on our doors that, and offer masks at the door, not like have someone there handing them out, but have them available if somebody wants one when they enter the building, they can
Just a
certainly take it.
recommendation.
So we can talk with Kathy when she gets back about that, because it is, when you cannot socially distance, it's another layer of protection, so.
yeah, something to the effect that masks are not required to enter, however, masks be made available and encouraged. If you're in a public area, it's crowded or something to that effect, you can't social distance. That would be all right. I don't think we need to change it because it's not a busy season so much there.
All right. Do you have anything, Commissioner Price?
No.
Okay.
I'll be attending lots of meetings at the end of the week.
Sounds good.
By Teams and what are the other ones? Really, for an old guy, this is really challenging.
Pushing you to be better than you were yesterday. That's all.
I had a meeting with the Workforce West Virginia on Friday in Weston, and they went over different issues they're working on and things like that. And I know some of the different planning that they're doing. I know one of the things was the unemployment rates for Preston County looking over it's under 4%. The problem they're having though is a lot of employers, and they've been doing different. In fact, Chamber just did one too. Hiring event, they're just having a hard time finding employees. Finding people who want to work, so that's a big issue. Most employers said and things of that sort. The other thing is,
Why do you suppose that is?
there's multiple theories about that. One is the unemployment benefits. People were just content to stay at home because they're making money. They're sitting at home drawing a check anyway. So that was one theory. There's multiple theories. There was discussions about just the particular generation of people, not wanting to work. So it's hard to say. It's that work ethic. Because West Virginia is one of the worst actually, now I take it back, not one of. It has the worst work participation rate in the United States. I mean, we're horrible. As far as participation of people 18 to 54 and that are able-bodied, it's horrible. I mean, that was one of the discussions they were talking about. So,
What do you know about it?
that's the
Well, I'm just asking what workforce is
well,
thinking that they can
they're
do.
doing what they can. They're retraining people that want to get people that want to get a training. They are doing their best to actually they've increased the amount of money they will pay. They will reimburse someone if they want to go and get like a certificate, like CNA certificate or something like that. They've actually increased that to try to encourage people to get into different things, whether it be at Pierpont or West Virginia Junior College or whatever, to try to encourage people to go to school to get trained to take a job. So that's one of the things they're doing. So they actually increased the amount that are, like I said, that was one of the things they just did. They increased the amount they're reimbursing people to go to school. So hopefully that made them encourage somebody to get out there and go get a job.
Hey, my question's worked. Here she is.
And the other thing I had is I had what was called a SIDS meeting with the Region 6 Planning and Development Council.
Oh, yeah.
And that's dealing with economic development and everything. It was actually a preliminary meeting just to get an overview from the company that they're entering in an agreement with to do it. And then actually I have a full council meeting on this coming Wednesday on the 15th, actually tomorrow for that matter. And the full council meeting, a quarterly meeting. So that's what I have going on. And we had we've got some things for the Solid Waste Authority. Did apply for another grant for another e-recycling event for next year. Hopefully we'll get it. So it's going to be taken care of.
Just I guess a reminder for you with solid waste and Samantha with the EDA, the annual risk pool insurance meeting.
I saw it. It's a virtual event. They sent the email out. Yes. Yeah, I saw an email from.
Yeah, if you're not going to attend.
It's a membership meeting too as well.
Yes.
So from the solid waste
Yeah.
authority, they need their,
Need a proxy if you're not going to be able
Yeah.
to attend.
But I normally I wouldn't worry about attending, but it's virtual. I might just go ahead and do it just to see what it entails, see what it is.
yeah, we used to attend the annual meeting. Did you get the list of candidates that you're voting on?
I haven't looked at all the information
Okay.
for the meeting, it's a lot of financial and everything, but no. But we need to look at that, to be prepared so that EDA probably can send a proxy if she's not going to be able to.
Yeah, I don't-
Be there.
I don't
Okay,
have
Dawn's
a
going to
list.
attend for the solid waste authority, is that correct?
What's that name?
You're going to attend the.
I was going to because it's a virtual event.
Yeah,
So
It's all been
as long as I don't have
changed.
anything else at that time, because it's at 10:30 on Friday.
and we've got the PSD one. And we've got
I'm not sure who.
We've got some, I think PSD one, we got City of Kingwood. Don't they?
I'm not sure how that vote went.
Well, hopefully that everybody will look at that because it's Friday and
I certainly don't have if you think PSD number one, I can talk with, send something, an email to them, and, I can reach out to the city of Kingwood about that meeting. When is it again, Dave? I don't remember. September
Friday.
Friday, this coming
Friday.
Friday, it's at 10:30. The thing is, I don't have a list, I never got a list of, who,
I'll reach out to them and see.
all I've got is the link, that's all I got, so.
Okay, well,
All right,
Yeah.
so according to this letter that came in from CSX, in a nutshell, they are still prepared with the 20% contribution and to work on that project, and they hope that the future ownership matter can be resolved with the DOH. They're wanting either a county, state, or city to take a full responsibility after they contribute 20%. So it sounds to me like we need to get another meeting, maybe coordinated with the DOH again and CSX to get everyone to the table again, because 20% really,
We're the same place we were before.
we are absolutely nowhere. And we had no correspondence, I'm assuming, on whether they were going to temporarily open that during these negotiations.
I sent a request via email, you were all copied on that, asking for a timeline on if they were going to do a temporary repair. This is the correspondence I got. If you can see, it's dated September 9th. I can certainly reach out to him and ask about
Temporary.
a temporary. I'll be happy to do that. I think that they're, from the letter from the DOH, it looks to me like they're wanting 32%, if I've read this right.
Yeah.
And they're at 20%. So I can reach out to all the parties again. You can see that,
They'd be
well,
awful
they
close
see.
to a deal if they would not make the requirements of that bridge quite so stringent. And the requirements come from DOH, and they say anytime we replace a bridge, this is what we do. But
I'm sure that at the time the bridge was constructed to today, that many things have changed.
Don't mind.
But I'm not saying that we put it back like it is, but I'm saying, really a lot of in-depth work to get the easements and everything for a 2-lane bridge with everything they're talking about. And it's
Well, I think there's a couple of issues. Once again, the ownership is a huge issue. And the maintenance thereafter would be if the DOH doesn't want to own it and CSX doesn't want to own it. Then the ownership becomes an issue where we were before. Also, the maintenance of that becomes an issue where we were before. And they're locked into the 20%. And I think that the 20%, if I've interpreted the letter correctly, is just sort of what they're doing with that off-system funding.
Right.
That's what they've done in the past.
Mhm.
So if you want to give me direction I did ask when I went up, E&G to forward this to the Terrado officials because I didn't see them on the list.
Okay.
So I'll make sure that the Terrado officials get a copy of this as well. But that's the only correspondence I have. When we're done today, I'll reach out to them and ask about the temporary. And then if you want to coordinate another meeting, I think that it's important that this time at the meeting that it appeared that when we talked at the last, that the decision makers weren't at the table.
They were not.
No,
So I think that if we're going to keep,
I mean, it was good to have who we had there, because they were the
Well, I
people
think
that- they gave us good information, but
I think they're vital to the next meeting, but I
Yeah.
think that perhaps we need another level up. So, because, I mean, we can continue to have meetings, but if we don't have the right parties at the table, we're spinning our wheels.
Right.
Right.
So, let me do some investigation on that, and I'll reach back out to Troy, because he said if I had any questions or, I bet I could reach out
I
to
think
him.
that's just very important. I was under the understanding that it was going to happen fairly quickly. They were going to investigate.
maybe
and,
that week.
I've not heard anything. So.
Well, we reached out by email. This was the response, and, September 10th, and I sort of sent that email out prior to the 10th, but I think this is the response that I'm getting on the deadline that we had requested. So I'll just reach out again. We'll see if we can't get something soon with these parties, but I do think that it's important because as they told us, this was being negotiated higher up than them. So, any questions on this? Also, don't forget tomorrow at 9 a.m., you should have gotten an invitation. I put it on your calendar for the county call.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I think I gave you 2 letters of the same thing.
You did, I think.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But it's no
That's
big
probably
deal.
the one.
I gave them
Okay,
copies.
perfect.
And I'll give Dee Dee my copy.
Does anybody have anything else before we adjourn?
Yeah, I have one request here, excuse me. The circuit clerk, has the 12:30 slot is, a little bit difficult for her today. She will meet that if that's what you would like to do. What I would like to do is, with no objection, have her come at 10 o'clock. Does the press have
That's
an
fine.
objection? Okay.
Yeah, she can make it here 10
She
o'clock.
says it's going to be, she isn't going to require a lot of time,
Okay,
and that would work better in her schedule.
sounds good, yeah.
So, I will, that's 15 minutes, and I need to talk to you if there are any documents you want, and I'll have Angie contact her and have her come at
Yeah.
10.
I think it works, if that works
Okay.
for her, yeah.
Okay.
That being said, we'll adjourn this, that way we can.
Yes, you'll convene, and you have,
Circuit
under the work session, sir, you need to, open the meeting and read the agenda. if you will.
Gotcha.
Oh, and, there is this horrific rumor that's going around that I have COVID-19, and I assure you I don't. And have taken precautions to, know that I don't. And I have been fully vaccinated, like back in February, and I know that doesn't give you like a perfect shield of armor.
No, that's
but,
true, there are being people that still get it.
So I,
Well, I'm glad.
yeah, me too.
I was gonna say, you sound like you have a little bit of a head cold.
Are we adjourned?
Yeah, we are adjourned. Hey, and I
Are we all?
I'm gonna turn this video off.
was able to find, I heard that buckwheat flour was in shortage, but I found some at Shop and Save yesterday. It's, $16 a
That
bag.
we,
Yeah.
in your minutes for your work session, that we moved her to 10, would you please, to accommodate her schedule?
Ohio Amish country.